I'm Dr. Max Rogland. I'm the pastor of Rose Hill Presbyterian Church, congregation of the Presbyterian Church in America, here in Columbia, South Carolina. And I'm going to be teaching a course at Erskine on the New Testament use of the Old Testament. This is actually a topic that the church has talked about for centuries, the idea of Scripture interpreting Scripture. You find it in the early church, people talked about it. You find it in the Westminster Confession of Faith, chapter 1, where it talks about when you come across some obscure, unclear passage in the Bible, you should understand it in light of other scriptures. So you allow Scripture to interpret Scripture. And really one of the ways that we see that just all the time, especially in the New Testament, is the way it quotes the Old Testament. If you think of the Gospel of Matthew, how many times just in the first couple of chapters it keeps saying, this was done so that the scriptures might be fulfilled. Out of Egypt I've called my son. There's a voice in Ramah of Rachel weeping for her children. Many, many times right there in just the opening chapters of Matthew's Gospel. And it's really throughout the entire New Testament. In fact, you also see it in the Old Testament as well. Old Testament writers will often quote or make reference to earlier scriptures. The prophets love to quote or reference the books of Moses, the book of Deuteronomy especially. The psalmist is always quoting the books of the law. Again, it all falls under this concept of Scripture interpreting Scripture. We talk about that. How exactly do New Testament writers, biblical writers, quote or refer to or allude to Old Testament passages, and how does that enrich the message of what they're saying?